In StarCraft, unlike in many traditional strategy games, you are able to create additional pieces as the game goes on. This turns out to be perhaps the most important difference between StarCraft and many traditional games that we are making analogies to. One other little note, in StarCraft we call pieces units. It's the exact same thing, don't worry about it, but you're going to hear me say units from here on. So in StarCraft, you start out with just one type of unit, the worker unit, and you have only a handful of them. Now, what does a worker unit do? Well, pretty much the only thing they do is gather resources. You can then spend those resources to either make more workers, or you can make army units that are good at fighting. This sounds really, really simple, but it turns out to add a ton of nuance to the game. So, in addition to being a positional game like chess, where the places on the board that I'm putting my units is very important, StarCraft also has this real-time timing element that I spoke about before. So what this does in terms of the worker units and this economic management is it forces us to make decisions about when to invest in growing our economy and when to invest in either attacking or defending by having more army units. This is the real sort of juicy bit that makes the game fun and exciting both as a spectator and as a player. I can decide to try to fend off my opponent while growing my economy, making tons and tons of workers and being as greedy as I can to just barely hold off their attacks, and then eventually overwhelm them with a much larger force in the late game. Or I can try to really rush out some army and just move across the board, or in StarCraft we call it a map, another little piece of terminology for you there, and try to get my opponent, hopefully catching them before their defenses are really ready. These are just kind of the basics, but hopefully you can kind of see already some of the beauty and some of the depth to StarCraft.